All right, boys and girls, did you miss us? We're back, feeling good, ready to do this show. So let's get this show started. Here we go.
Well, hello there. How you doing? I'm Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust, and today you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
That's right, Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust. Thank you very much. Good evening. What up, Gooder Gang? You know what time it is. It's 8 o'clock, and you know where to be. That is right here, watching the very best fake internet barbecue show on the planet. That's right, you are watching and listening to the So Smoking Gooder Show. My name is Rob Arocha, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. Damn glad you found us, whether you're checking us out on the Facebooks or on the YouTubes or on the Twitch platforms. My show partner, let's bring him on right now. I am not Han Solo. I do have Case Han with me tonight. What is up, Case? How are you, buddy?
What's up, Robbie? Good to be back with everybody tonight.
Yes. Yeah, shout out to our last guest a couple weeks ago. That was Joyce and Vincent Regino from Reggie Q Barbecue. It was great getting to meet that fine young couple. They're killing it right now on the barbecue scene. So it was really good to get to meet those guys and introduce you. Let's give some shout outs to people watching. Of course, at first, as always, Daddy Dutch Barbecue. He said, "Damn it, Rob, I've been waiting here since last Wednesday when I pulled a Han." What does he mean by that? I know he's throwing muscle with Michael
Spelled my name correctly.
I know he did. Mark Suarez, let's effing go. I love it. Jared McCrory, Alex Villanueva. What's up, Alex? How are you? Checking us out on Fidel watching from Twitch. Love it. Dylan DeLeon, what's going on? Randy Salinas, Jen Lee. Hello, Jen. She is the promoter behind the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, which we'll be talking about coming up here real shortly. And then Case Han. Hey, I like it. You're watching and hosting.
Yes, I'm actively in the comments tonight.
So guys, we missed another show last week. That is only our third one since November to miss, and kind of like our second one in the last 3 weeks because I came a little ill, man, and thankfully I am getting over whatever I had. But I am. This is day 4 of me feeling pretty good, really good. So I'm back on it. Let's get this show started. Case, how have you been, buddy? You know, you just got off a contest, which is something we don't ever say, but once a year on this show, having Case coming off a contest.
There's a good chance that, we'll probably say this in a couple of months. So I'm itching to go and truly enjoyed it. And the entry fee's already been sent off for another one, not named the Columbus June Cook-Off. So there you go.
Which one is that?
I will travel to Hutto. So, yeah, I'll be in Hutto. So anybody going to Hutto for the IBCA event, I'll be there.
3 meets matter.
3 meets matter, along with any kind of extra turn-in known to man that gets me a trophy. That was the goal from this past weekend. So,
and you did well, man. So after taking a full year off from last June cook-off, and probably a year before that since the previous June cook-off, so you've done 2 in the last 24 months. But you got a nice call. How did it go, man? Tell us the whole experience. You haven't done this in a while, so did you forget anything?
Rusty is a complete understatement. And it's it actually went all in all is pretty well. And of course, probably shouldn't have signed up for all the turn-ins. I did fajitas, I did chef's choice, I turned in beans, I turned in the IBCA 3 meats. So probably should have just focused on the 3 meats, but the other ones got me some hardware and money, so we'll take it. And Craig Sauce did it again, had a big third-place chicken walk. Controversy, almost had controversy. I thought we were going to go live from the cook-off because I actually got called for 4th. And then I just stood there texting you in front of everyone.
I was watching live. That took a good solid 10 minutes, it felt like. And
it felt like that.
I was wondering, I was telling Bo Daniel, I was watching his live feed, I was telling him to boo you and find out what the hell is going on, because there
was not a lot of clarity.
Wes Reed, hello, Wes. AJ, what's going on? Yeah, so what happened? You were not 4th.
So, they're going through, and a couple things about the Columbus June Cook-Off is I have more 4th place finishes out there than any human should have. And there's a big difference. 4th is like this certificate. 3rd is, a really cool handmade trophy from the kids there. Columbus is my hometown, guys. Winning in Columbus and doing well in Columbus is a big deal for me. And so I have a ton of 4th place finishes out there that just annoy the crap out of me. 5th and 10th, I'm a happy person getting a walk. 4th, I am a Polly Pissy Pants. And I'm sitting there with the chicken. I thought I had a good chicken, but I rarely do well in chicken. And, the numbers are coming. And boom, a 4th place chicken hits. And most people should have got up extremely excited and happy about this 4th place chicken. I got up cursing and mad, not because I got a 4th place call. The fact that I once again missed out on hardware and a payday money, and so that's a big
3 to 4.
Mm-hmm. Stop cussing because my kid chases me all the way up, and we're in front of everybody, and there's a pause. No one's handing me a certificate, and the new ticket system. There's a lot of stuff that's changed since I cooked a year ago, and so did I do something wrong? Did I screw this up? Do I have my wife has my master ticket? Hell, I'm like. And come to find out, as they were calling out the numbers, the 4th place tray got stuck to the 5th place tray. And so they skipped 4th place. And so they said, hang here, you're actually 3rd. So then at that point, I'm excited because I'm going to get some hardware, which I did. Hats off to some FFA guys.
Oh, nice. And those are cool. I like that.
And the bigger controversy at that point, I was my 3-year-old who understands trophies. Her favorite trophy in the house is the one that I beat Fong for the pork chop challenge this forever here. But I tell my kid, I tell Katie, I said, hey, we get a trophy. So she immediately walks to the table and picks up a pig trophy. And I said, no,
Wrong.
we
Yeah.
want a chicken trophy. And then she proceeded to say she didn't want a chicken trophy. She really wanted a pig. She took an upset photo because she didn't get a pig trophy. My ribs did not get a pig trophy. And so I went on to win 2 more trophies and more checks every time my child went with me. I was reminded that I did not get a trophy in ribs. So next year's goal to get that.
Those trophies are nice, and I know the FFA kids hand make those trophies. That's really cool over at the Columbus FFA. Caleb Warden, I will say his name later. Excitedly, he is the grand. Excitedly, yes, he is the grand champion of the event. And we'll go over that in the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics wrap-up recap. Congratulations, Caleb. Here is your invite to come on to the show, Caleb. We want you on the show. So you're going to finish number 1 in the IBCA standings this year, and we want you on the show. So whenever you can make that happen, pick a Wednesday.
You got to clear it with the other show before.
Not one, yeah. Well, the 5 people that watch it, yeah, he has to clear, and one of them is Caleb. But yes, he can get on with us. Not next week, because we're doing a live remote. We'll go over that as well. But Caleb, we want you on the show, buddy. Come on. Shout out to Derek Bernal watching. He's watching from Cancun. All right, I could probably think of probably 100 other things to watch us, but hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it while you're down in Cancun doing it. James Dodson will say his name on the show a little. What's up, James? Congratulations. All right, so our guest tonight is I'm excited about it. We have had her on just on a podcast. We did a podcast a number of years ago, probably like 2018 or so, at the Memphis in May Festival. But this is going to be her first time to be on our live show, and I'm going to introduce you all to Amy Jungk. She is the owner-operator of Old World Spices and the barbecue spot. So we're going to get her unique perspective on. She's been to all these majors. Case, she's been to the Royal, the Jack, the Memphis in May. She's been to San Antonio, and I'm missing one, right? There's the Royal, Jack. Oh, Houston. Yeah. Duh. Yeah, and she's been there as well. So we'll get her on in just a few minutes, but we have some cleaning up to do, some what do you call that? House cleaning. House cleaning. Not really house cleaning. Sponsor shout out. We're going to do that here in just a minute, but again, our sponsorships are ending. So on June 30th, I am going to extend it because I've missed a couple of shows because I was out. So I'm going to extend that maybe a couple weeks. But if you guys want to be a sponsor of the show, we'd love to have you. You guys contact me over at rob@bullhornbbq.com. We've got a few of them lined up for next year already, but we do have a couple spots open. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of this fine show, you can do that. You can contact me at rob@bullhornbbq.com, and I'll get you all squared away. So before we get going any further, let's do a quick sponsor shout out to our sponsors, and we'll get Amy on here in just a moment. Here we go. Shout out to our great sponsors: Rec Tech, Cosmos Q Products, Texas Pepper Jelly, Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, LC Barbecue, Rick's RV Rental and Repair, Eureka Heights Brew Company, Chicken Fried Barbecue Grinds, J. Harding and Company, Texas Oil Dust, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, and the Barbecue Store in Hempstead. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Kiss it, Wes. Geez, this show sucks. Only 6K on the YouTube. Hey, man, that's what happens when you miss a couple shows. People have to get back in the groove and being here every Wednesday. All right, so we just kind of briefly hit up. Next week, we're going to do a live remote from Paradigm Brewery. That is in Tomball, Texas. That is a new brewery getting, an upstart brewery. So I'm excited to go check them out.
It's steak night, too.
So we're going to be munching on some steaks.
Cold beer. Rob and I will be there. I mean, that's pretty much all. I can't think of a better thing to do on a Wednesday night in Tomball ever.
No, and that is where we'll be next weekend. Paradigm Brewery at Brews and Barbecue. Celebrate Independence Day. They're gonna have music too, and steak night, and us. Oh my God, we're gonna bring the house down. That's what's gonna happen. So if you guys want to come out and hang out with Case and I, that's gonna be next week in Tomball, Texas, on Wednesday night, 8:00. We'll be doing the show from there. Are we doing it at 8:00 Wednesday?
I'm sure 8:00. We'll be out there early though, because it'll be steak night and I'll be hungry.
All right. And then don't forget, guys, we have our 5-year anniversary party coming up in about 3 weeks over at Cypress Rose Hill Beer Garden. That I'll talk about that a little later in the show. And this is the final week to get your shirt orders in. That's right. We're going to do our pre-order is ending this weekend because I got to get that order over to the printer and get those done so they will be ready for the pate. Susie's back watching. What's up, Susie? Wes Reed. I saw Corby Simpkins. All right, Cracker Barrel Barbecue. Welcome in. All right. I told her I'd get her on at 8:15. It's 8:17. Let's get her on. I know. Hey, we're kind of on point right now, but let me get her sponsor to roll right there. Let's bring her on. Miss Amy Jungk. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm doing great. It's so good to see you guys. Good to meet you, Case. We haven't met yet.
Yes.
I know. I totally got left out of the podcast originally, but you're on the live show now, which is by far way more entertaining. So welcome in.
Yes. Do you remember doing that little podcast we did? I don't know if you remember. You've done so
Memphis
many of
May.
these things.
We were Memphis in May, sitting in a little pavilion area.
See, she does.
And
remember.
you were my first.
Really?
My first ever podcast interview. That was it was the Memphis in May in 2018.
Yeah, you always remember your first. Just saying.
You're it, babe. You're it.
Just saying. Well, welcome to the live show, and it's a pleasure to have you on. Amy, for those that don't know who Amy is, why don't you introduce yourself? Like I said, we have a lot of viewers that are based, a lot of them Texas, and we have some others now. We're kind of expanding, but our base is still Texas. So introduce yourself to our audience, because we're happy to have you on.
Well, fabulous. Thank you very much. So I'm out of Kansas City. We have a company called Old World Spices, and it's family business. My father started in 1988, and I joined him in 1990. And over the years, we have grown into a very barbecue-centric company. So we manufacture barbecue rubs for pit masters and restaurants and food manufacturing all over the country. We ship internationally products to UK, Australia, all across Europe. And I get the wonderful job of being the, what is my actual title?
Ambassador.
EVP of Strategic Relationships. So I get to work with all the pit masters. I get to work with all of the big contests like you were naming earlier. I can't believe you left Houston off.
I know. That's crazy.
Of all the ones for you to forget, Rob.
I know.
I really just in the last 2 years, post-COVID, started getting into the Texas contest and have absolutely loved it. Houston and San Antonio. I've hit both twice.
Yes.
And
we don't say that C word, Amy.
What do you mean?
The C word, the COVID.
Sorry.
That's a bad word right now. It's okay.
A little break we all took from reality. How's that?
There you go. What was that, Case?
We're just glad Rob's back. I was available last week until my wife said I had to go watch the Buzz Lightyear movie. So.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. But yeah, so and now you just recently, I love all that. I remember the story of your dad doing taking packets to pizza joints or something like that.
My dad started when Pizza Hut had just a handful of restaurants. They started in Wichita, Kansas. And my dad had met the Carney brothers, and they talked about how they wanted to grow rapidly. They wanted to protect their recipes. So my father blended what they called their goodie bags in the basement of our house. And then once a month would drive across Kansas, load up a van or a truck, whatever it was, with all the goodie bags. They'd drive across Kansas, drop off that month's supply. And we had neighbors that used to talk about if dad invited you over for bridge, before you were allowed to even have a cocktail or sit down at the card table, you had to go down the basement and make 10 goodie bags.
There you go. Hey, get them all involved. Yeah, no, that is great, and it's grown. Now you, for those that don't know, you can go to the BBQspot.com, check out all of the rubs and sauces now that you guys have from a lot of the famous pit masters that you all know and love. Some from the Texas area. I saw Fred Robles's is on there. You're going to have some more soon coming out. So
working with Bill Purvis, working with, well, I hate to throw out names before we get everybody over because their current vendors might not know that they're coming over to us. But we have a really unique relationship between the pit masters, ourselves as a manufacturer, and the retailers. Because what we discovered a long time ago was the retailers who want to carry all the pitmaster brands, it's just too labor intensive for them to go out and try to purchase from all these little individual people, order 2 cases here, 4 cases there. So it was actually one of our customers was Bass Pro, who said, hey, I know you guys are making all this stuff. Why can't I just come to you and buy everything? So at that time, we had about 12 core pitmasters we were working with. Mark Lambert was one of them. Boar's Night Out was in early. The Shed was in early. We asked them, how would you guys feel about letting us try this? We'll try to distribute product. We'll put you on a royalty program. And everybody said, sure, why not? Let's give it a try. And here we are, probably 12 years later. It's just grown astronomically.
Yeah, you've got some great names behind what you guys are doing. I saw, Slaps is on there, and you mentioned Mark, Sweet Swine of Mine. Like I said, you got Bill coming. It's really cool. Yeah. And if you guys want to go check out that site, it's the BBQspot.com, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it. If you're a wholesaler, we have wholesale.oldworldspices.com. If you want to buy stuff for your retail store, you can go in there and set up an account and order directly that way.
Here's one of your guys.
SKUs. That's Fred. I love Fred.
Yeah, he's on there. Rio Valley Meats. His 2 spices are in that lineup. Willie T says hello, Miss Amy.
Hello.
Yeah, Daddy Dutch. Wes is killing me tonight. I feel obligated to purchase a shirt now to make up for the low viewership. Hey, we're sitting at 40K. We're sitting at 40K, Wes. Go check out another one. There might be.
I can tell you this: just glancing at the website, Rob and I, between the American Royal, I've been up to Arrowhead for a couple of games, and there's a natural rivalry between Texans tailgating. It's friendly, Kansas City. Yes. Then there's this whole barbecue argument, and as I'm scrolling through, all I'm seeing is Jack Stacks, Arthur Bryant's, and I'm having flashbacks of all these barbecue joints, and so. What makes you venture? It looks very Kansas City oriented. What makes the Texas market enticing to you?
Well, let me tell you, we were not ever just Kansas City oriented. I mean, we are here. And matter of fact, you mentioned Jack Stack. My dad grew up with Jack Fiorella, went to high school with him, played football with him. So Jack actually got us started in blending and bottling barbecue rubs. He was starting his catalog business. He wanted to come out with retail products and asked my dad, he said, hey, you're making this stuff for the restaurants. How about throwing it in some bottles for us? So we bought a little semi-automated bottling line that would take us a full day just to run a pallet of product. And now we're up to these hyper speed lines that we could get multiple products done in a shift and fly through product, and we've become much more efficient at what we're doing. But we started there, but we also started with a lot of Memphis barbecue. We've got, as I said, Boar's Night Out and Sweet Swine of Mine. We're trying to be more varied in what we bring in, but what we did realize was about 2019, which is when I first went down to the Houston livestock rodeo, we realized that we really had a hole for Texas teams. There's something with you Texas boys that, you do something great, but you want to keep it all private and keep it in Texas. We had to come down and convince you that the rest of the country wanted to get the Texas barbecue. So we have been working for the last, 3 years, really, to bring more and more Texas teams into the program so we can get you distributed nationwide.
Very nice. Case, you've hit all of those restaurants in KC. What's your favorite?
Man, that's a tough one. Q39.
Q39. I won't ask Amy.
Well, I always say it's whichever one I'm closest to when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right.
Or if I'm trying to Jack Stacks, I can't think of which location it is. It's relatively close to the brewery. If I'm trying to impress someone, I would barbecue in Kansas City. And then old school flair. I actually do dig Arthur Bryant's and the original Gates. It's just Gates is a little intimidating when I go up the road and try to order there because it's a whole nother language of ordering at Gates. I wasn't prepared for. My friend Jeff sure the hell wasn't prepared for. And there should have been an owner's manual at the door before we totally screwed up the lunch line.
Yeah, I've been to Q39, I believe, and Jack Stacks, Arthur Bryant's. I think I went there with you, Case. Didn't you take me there? Yeah. Wasn't my favorite. That one wasn't, but the other two were great. I loved them.
Nostalgia. It's nostalgia.
I know.
We are known for a lot of really iconic barbecue restaurants. And I know we're going to talk about this at some point. I don't know if you want me to get into it yet or not, but we're going to start the newest trend in barbecue restaurants. Never been done before. It's going to be so exciting.
This is your event, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
let's talk about it.
A week and a half ago, we had our inaugural Made for KC barbecue competition. And the idea behind this was you guys have flown into Kansas City. You've been through our airport. So you know it's a little outdated.
Thank you for expanding your airport, finally. I just want to throw it out there.
So this is the whole initiative for the new terminal, which will be opening in March of 23. They had a number of different concession groups that were coming in and bidding on to be able to do the restaurants and the retail stores. And one of those groups had approached me and said, hey, we have an idea we want to pitch. Tell us if we're crazy or not. Kansas City is the home to the American Royal, which is the world's largest barbecue contest. And then as far as the number of teams, I think at their prime, they had 600 teams and 17 international countries represented. And it's also the home for the KCBS, which is the largest sanctioning body for barbecue contests in the world. So I said, what if instead of just putting in another chain restaurant for barbecue, what if we have a competition theme restaurant? And to fill that spot, what they want to do is hold an annual competition. The winner of each year's competition gets to have their recipes, their likeness, their names featured. They don't have to run the restaurant, but they will have their name on the billboard, their name on the menu signs, and then they will receive a royalty off of all the food sales. So cool. I said, hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. They said, can we hire you to do this? I said, well, you can't hire me because I already got a company I'm pretty busy with. But if it benefits my company, if it benefits the barbecue community, I'm thrilled to do this. So I got on board and we started off looking for a place. We didn't get approval till January, and we knew we had to have the contest in June. In order to get everything else to happen on the calendar to open a restaurant in March, we knew we had to get going quickly. So I lucked out. We have a Harley Davidson store up by the airport called Worth Harley Davidson. They have bike nights. They had a great area, public area, stage, sound system, porta potties, huge parking lot, everything we needed to drop in a barbecue contest. So we had parameters set. You had to be from Kansas City. You had to be within a 60-mile radius of the airport. Because, no offense, but I didn't really want Brad Littinger coming in from St. Louis and winning my barbecue, or Springfield and winning a Kansas City restaurant. So we wanted to make sure it was somebody from, that was local.
Yeah.
Love you, Brad, if you're listening. I'm not knocking you at all. You know I love you. But you can't have a restaurant in my backyard. Okay. So you had to be a member of KCBS in good standing. You had to have been competing for the last 3 years. And we had spots for 36 teams. So we did a live lottery drawing on Facebook. We had 49 or 50 teams throw their hat in the ring, and we drew out 36. So it was so much fun. We wanted to.
Please tell me, who didn't make it?
Who didn't make it? What do you mean?
You said I had so many teams. Was there a chance that one of the name brands that got left out?
Yeah, there were some big names that were very disappointed they didn't get drawn. And I was disappointed too because, I love everybody. It's like, trying to pick your own children. I was surprised how many of the teams I was not familiar with because I felt like if you're barbecue in Kansas City, I would know you. Let me tell you, the team that won, Black Magic Barbecue, Brianna Villa and Brad Coulter, they've only been competing for 2 years.
Wow.
That was amazing because it's one of the complaints that I hear from people a lot of times if they're new and they're trying to start. They say, God, it's just so discouraging because the same people get the calls every time. and it's hard for a new team to get started. So I think it shocked everybody to see
That's
them
cool.
to see them get the call, but I was thrilled for them. And this is a really lucrative opportunity for somebody who wants to get started in the business to now have a little bank to get themselves out there. So I'm really going to have a lot of fun working with them to help them get their products to market, get their competition recipes converted over to something we can do on a larger scale. You know how many people are going to go through it? It's going to be an 8,000 square foot restaurant space.
Wow. At the airport.
Um,
That's really cool.
So it's competition themed, and this is me poking fun at KCBS. How much kale will they have to go through if they have to put kale on everybody's plate?
Hey, we can use parsley. We can use parsley too, not just kale.
Kale's where it's at, though.
Is someone going to have to do all those chicken thighs every morning?
That's funny. That's
we will
funny.
have a competition themed menu. So you'll have brisket, ribs, chicken, and pork. But then they'll also be able to develop some signature sandwiches. That'll be their recipes. We'll have some signature sides. So
That's cool. And their names
I
is
think
gonna
it'll
gonna
a
be
lot
on
of
it,
fun.
and their name's gonna be
Their
part of
name,
it.
their image. They're going to have, I believe, like 12-foot video screens that'll be running, video of them winning, of them competing. Because what we really want to play up to the tourism, the people coming through Kansas City, is letting them know how important barbecue is to this town and letting them see the entrepreneurial opportunities. And that's, again, one of my passions. In addition to barbecue, is entrepreneurial businesses. I think barbecue is one of the last areas we have where somebody can actually start a home business and have it be wildly successful, enjoy their passion. Barbecue has been so hot and so on trend. It's become so much more sophisticated. A lot of that's due to TV, the Food Channel. But pitmasters are becoming celebrities. You don't even have to look good in a swimsuit.
Most of us don't.
If you want it,
Yeah, don't. Let's not relive that picture anymore. Case. Jim Seeley was there. He said it was a blast. Irwin's Pit Crew Barbecue was excited to be a part of it.
Jim. We are very excited to have you there.
We can't have a.
MCI is actually getting just changed. I've flown in multiple times. I love going to Kansas City, but it's not one of my favorite airports. And so,
Yes.
Do y'all have a feel for what it's going to feel like
Yes.
when you land in Kansas City?
So it's the new terminal. Picture an H on its side. Okay, so the bottom bar of the H will be all of the main airlines, United, American, all of those. And then the back bar of the H will be all Southwest, with a walkway in between the two with people movers and taking you through. So when you go back to the back terminal where the Southwest train is, right when you come off the ramp or the runway to get there, you'll see our competition restaurant.
So how close is
the
that
first
to
thing you walk out to.
Southwest terminal? Southwest is where common folks like me fly.
Yes,
So
me too. Hey, I do most of my flying on Southwest.
there you go.
Yeah, see, talent flies, Amy. So I wouldn't know what the airport looks like because I'm always
Rob has
driving.
no idea what MCI is like.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a lot easier for me just to fly in and fly out.
Rob,
Yeah,
I
so-
bet that's because you're on the watch list.
Damn, maybe that could be. We can't have a So Smoking Gooder show without Rena Gonzalez blowing smoke. AP Rub, maybe you can get with Amy. I'm just kidding. Coming soon, he says. Hashtag.
Awesome.
Bill Purvis is watching. He says Spice
Hi,
Queen.
Bill. I love you, Bill.
Yeah, and
So-
and Vincent's looking out for me. Rob looks good in those Speedos at award. Thank you, I appreciate that. And Fred said the good thing is that he does look good in a swimsuit.
So I work. So this is a question for you. So I work in retail, and a vendor came in that we were talking. Actually, I sell grills, and what this particular vendor distributed a lot of spice brands that we all know. And one of the questions I had for him was, how come you don't have so and so, or how come you don't have so and so? And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, do you realize how many spices and rubs and things like that? So what's the selection process look like for your company? Because, I joked with him, it seems like every day, and a lot of y'all are watching, don't take any offense, but it seems like every day I have a friend that's got a rub.
Yeah.
So what's the selection process look like for when you try to identify brands that you want to bring into the catalog?
Absolutely. So that's a very good question because we were at a stage years ago where we'd take in anybody that wanted to roll out a rub. It's grown to the point that we have to be selective because we have a relationship with the major retailers. Now, I'm not trying to go heavy into grocery. I'm focusing where I think the backyard barbecue hobbyists are going to shop. We are hardware, sporting good, outdoor living, barbecue centric stores. So Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, Cabela's, Bass Pro, Shields. Did I say Shields already? Um, that's where we are going to go because that's where we think somebody who's really serious about barbecue is going to go look for their products. You're not going to, especially with prices today, you're not going to go spend a couple $100 on a Wagyu brisket for practicing for competition and throw McCormick Grill Mates on it, right? You're going to go find a rub that you know is tested, proven, somebody in the competition circuit has used this, has swears by it. So that's really important to us right there. Do you have the authority behind your brand that a consumer is going to look at it and say, either I know this guy or wow, look what this guy's won? Or maybe you're a restaurant that's just been, like we talked about some legacy ones earlier. I'd love to do blacks. I would love to. There's a lot of Texas restaurants that I'd love to hook my wagon to and help them do their stuff. You just have to think, do I have a story? Do you have authority? Is there something about you that stands out? The next most important thing to me is don't be another Me Too product. I love y'all with your Texas SPG rubs, but how many SPG rubs can you really have on the shelf? So can we
A lot,
Are
apparently.
you talking about in my pantry currently, or just on the shelf in general?
Probably both. Probably, but the stuff in your pantry you probably got free because people, want you to talk about them and promote them. But
Well, no, never mind. You said SPG. I thought you said all-purpose rubs. That's
well, okay,
completely different.
and that too. So we've done consumer studies. I know this might shock you. Do you know that when your common shopper is going into the grocery store, this is not your barbecue-centric person, but if you're going to walk into a Walmart, okay, and you know that you're going to barbecue this weekend and you've got your shopping list and rubs and sauces are on that shopping list, 70% of the time, they don't decide what they're going to buy until they're standing in front of the shelf. There's no brand loyalty. So they're looking for what grabs their attention. They know what meat they're going to cook. They know they're doing ribs. They know they're doing brisket. They know they're doing chicken. I don't know that they're going to take a risk with an all-purpose if right next to it is a champion rib rub. They're going to say, wow, this is made for ribs. That's what I'm going to use. So
Right.
we try to work with our partners and educate them from not only what do you think is good and what does your pitmaster buddy who sets up next to you in San Antonio think is good, what's going to sell to the consumer? Because if you're not getting them to pick it up, it's not going to move. So we want to have something, I always say comfort with a twist. You can have an SPG, you could have an S&P, you could have an all-purpose, but can we call out something about it that's a little unique? Is there a chili powder? Is there a smoke flavor? Is there something comfort with a twist?
That's great advice because a lot of guys go into a store and choose right there just from what the label says, if it pops or it wows them for a minute there, and then boom, that's what you're grabbing and that's what you're going to go use. That's
Barbecue, Rob, is both a sport and an art.
You
All
know,
right, we are fierce competitors. We want to win, but it's also an art because we want to put our touch on it that makes it a little bit different, that makes it stand out. We're playful. We want to try different combinations, and so you've got to keep a constant flow of something fresh coming in front. So even once you get your brand established, you should always have a backup of an idea or two each year you're going to try to roll out to keep it fresh. So back to your question, Case. If you came to me and you said, yeah, I got a rub. I want you to take it, package it, go sell it. I just want to collect the checks. I'm probably not going to work with you. But if you come to me and say, man, I got all these great ideas and I'm teaching classes and I'm competing and I'm on YouTube and I've got a podcast, then I'm going to say, wow, I can really do something with that.
Let's do it, Case.
Together,
I got
we
an
can promote the
SPG
heck.
recipe you're going to love.
So we're looking for partners who are going to be as engaged as we are. Because I can get it on the retail shelf, you've got to help get consumers to pull it off the retail shelf. And if you're just home hiding in your backyard, nobody knows who you are, I can't make that happen.
Yeah.
On the flip side of it, you mentioned it earlier, talking about something about you Texas guys, and y'all just. So what happens when you stumble on a product and say, this is a winner. And you have to look that cook or that pit boss in the eye and say, will you give me that recipe? And I'll hold on to it, and I won't do anything with it. I won't share it with anybody. But how does that hurdle run in? Because some of these guys, they've stumbled on, they've done it good on their own, they've distributed on their own, and yeah, you can take them to the next level. But what's the fear that I just handed you? This is the recipe that I created, and what are you going to do with it when you have it in your hands?
So, two things. The very first step I do before you share any information with me is I send you a legal non disclosure agreement we both sign. Because I'm also going to share things with you about my business and how I manufacture and how we work that you also have to keep confidential. Because I got competitors out there that would love to come steal my partners away and go do what I'm doing. So I got to protect myself too. Secondly, we have been in business for, gosh, I lose track now. What did I just say before? 34 years. I can give you referrals. I can tell you people I've worked with over and over and over again. We have a reputation I would never put at risk by exposing somebody's formula, stealing someone's formula. You wouldn't believe how many times your secret recipe might be blending 3 other people's rubs together. And you think that's a secret recipe. Well, it is, because you know the proportion. And if you bring that to me, you say, here's my recipe. I'm using a rub and 33 sauce and, whatever. I can break those down. I can match them. But if that rub I started with was Rob's and I'm working with Rob, I would say, I can't touch it. Even though he's just one component in your finished product, I cannot do business with you. I would recommend that you go back and figure out your own formulation. Or look at your other things and, maybe it's a rub that I'm not making and you say, I like this, but I want more heat or I want more garlic or I want a coarser grind. That I can match that, I can tweak it, and I can make it yours. But I have turned down business time after time after time if they come and tell me that they're using one of my other partners' products in their finished blend.
Really cool, really cool. Vincent Regino, we just had him on the show. He says don't knock grill mates. That's the only thing he uses. Right.
Are you winning, Vince? Are you winning?
He's winning. He's winning. I don't know. Is this the winner right here, Brianna?
Yes. Hello,
She's
Bree.
watching. Yeah, Amy is the best. Thank you for everything. And she's a native Texan. Well, no wonder she won.
Of course.
No wonder.
How many people come take a grand championship their second year in? I mean, she was cooking against old school guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
blew everybody. Not just I have to give Brad credit too. Sorry, Bree. Everybody loves to say Bree because she's the head cook and a female pit master, and that's something we really like to celebrate. But they are a team. She and Brad work hand in glove together. They are both phenomenal pit masters.
You've got a lot of people watching. The Smoke Sheet is checking in. What's up? Amy's a rock star. Yes.
Hi, Ryan.
She is. Johnny Mag's in the house. Willie T, like I said, he asked a question. Can you reverse engineer rubs? You kind of mentioned it. Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, one of the first things we do, if you bring me a rub and you want me to reverse engineer it, the first thing we do is something called a salt titration. So we take a small amount of the rub, we add some water, we have a little machine, we put it in, it spins it around, it tells us the exact percentage of salt. Salt being such a prime ingredient in rubs that we can look at an ingredient statement and say, well, if salt's number 1 and we know it's this percentage, now we just got to work everything else down. And you don't hit it the first time. We'll do tweaks. We'll go back and forth multiple times. I might get it to where I think it's a match and I send it to you. And Case goes, it's just missing a little something, or the heat's a little off, or the garlic's a little too strong. I say nobody knows their child as well as the parent. So I might think it's a match. You're going to tell me different. We go back to the drawing board. We hit it again until you're 100% happy with it.
That is cool. Yeah, you're not going to hit it first time.
Do they always have to know what they have in it, or can they say, this is what I want? Can you help me execute it? Have you done this before?
I've had people come to me who don't know what they want, but they have a concept. And we can, and not just in barbecue. This is for restaurants. This has been for gourmet food companies. We want to launch a new line, and we want it to have a different variety of smoke flavors. So then we will start working with them, and we'll show them, or we'll invite them into our research and development center and say, come spend a day with us. Sit down with our food scientists. Let's just start putting things together and making something that you're proud of.
This is cool. This is very interesting talk. Yeah, for sure. So you've
Which
had a
one
lot.
of those barbecue sauces is in your refrigerator right now?
Oh God, if I went over and opened it, I got Head Country. I've got Hey Girl Hey. I've got some Rufus Teagues. I've got Three Little Pigs.
Hey, girl, hi.
My problem is when I open a barbecue sauce, I don't use it up quick enough because I'm a rub girl.
That's fine. I just need to
I
clarify. I have
like,
some friends from Kansas City that are watching, and I just
uh
want to clarify that she did not say Jack Stacks. Just throwing it out there.
well, they are a partner of ours, and I do distribute their product, and I do love Jack Stack's products. But if you asked me what rubs, I'd have to go open about 3 cupboards
And they're
because
all
I have
STDs.
so many rubs.
Quit getting her in trouble, Case.
Sorry.
You're trying to get her. You're trying to get her in trouble. So let's kind of switch gears real quick.
Yes.
You have been to. We mentioned all the majors. Which one is your favorite? I mean, I know you're probably partial to
Besides
maybe
Houston. I
the
mean, Houston's one. What's
KC.
second?
They're all different, but
Well,
what do you have more fun
I have
at?
to tell you, Kansas City is the most work for me.
Yeah, you're
Because
actually
last
working.
year I think I had 27 of my what I call brand partners, here competing. So I have 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, to get around and spend time and shoot social media and talk to 27 teams, and I'm exhausted when it's over. So it's kind of like hosting a party at your house. You're doing all the work.
We don't know about parties.
So it's a little more fun when you get to go away and be more on the spectator side. Um, but everybody's got a little different feel. The Jack is probably one of the smaller ones that we go to,
Yeah.
but it's like a family reunion. You know everybody when you get there. It is just so much fun to just kick back and hang out with everybody at the Jack. Memphis
And
in
don't forget
May.
your rain boots.
Oh yeah. Memphis in May, even this year, with their change of venue, was still a really fun event. My favorite thing about Memphis in May, I know they have to limit the number of teams. I believe this year they had 220 teams. Now that number's in my head because I made gift baskets or gift bags for everybody at the Cooks meeting, and I think I made 220.
Damn.
But I bet you had 500 to 600 pitmasters because if your team doesn't get in, everybody wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
help.
you saw these groups who maybe typically have 2 or 3 cooks on a team, and they all of a sudden have 12 guys in their booth all cooking from Memphis in May.
Yeah.
And it's a different judging style that I really like too. I like that the judges come around to each of the areas and interview the pitmasters. It's the only contest I've seen where they're actually testing the knowledge of the pitmaster, not just the end product.
Yeah, no, the on-site
And I-
judging is difficult. It's fun. You got to have a persona to be able to do that and speak in front of somebody and tell them what you're doing and explain the
Yes.
process and tell the story. It's really neat. I was able to watch Kendall do it, Kendall Adair with Smoke and Spice, and he was just a natural at it. It was fun to watch. It's different. You're right.
But now Texas, so I'm certified for KCBS to judge. I'm a certified judge for the State Cook-Off Association. Matter of fact, I'm going to be hosting a class, I just found out, next month here at my house for State Cook-Off Association judges. It'll be
Nice.
really fun. You guys should come up. But I went down to Texas to my first Texas competition in San Antonio. And we're trying to peek in the judges' tent. We're trying to look through the curtains, see what they're doing. Are they set up different? Just trying to learn the secrets, how they do it different than what we were used to. And somebody walked up to us and said, "Hey, would you guys like to judge?" And I said, "Oh, no, I'm not certified in Texas. I'm only certified KCBS." And they laughed. and
certified.
said, "We don't certify
Oh,
in
you're
Texas."
certified.
They said, "Do you like chicken?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "We need chicken judges. Come in." So it was so fun to be my first contest down there, to be able to really get literally on the inside and be sitting at a judging table and be able to do that made that a really special competition for me.
And you had
And
a
then,
big
of course,
half chicken.
And then, of course, there's Houston, which is just the party to end all parties. So I get myself in a little trouble in Houston, Rob. I needed a babysitter the first time I went down there.
That's it. You can get it happens. It happens. That day one.
No
Day
comment.
one will.
I think I was in the pit boss party and somebody was passing out some cherries that have been soaked in God knows what. And all of a
It's-
sudden, I'm literally texting one of my coworkers going, "Brandon, I need help."
Houston
back and
is
get me.
a marathon. That Houston is a marathon. Fred says he hears the guy that won San Antonio is a great dude.
Oh,
Yeah, he is.
You know
He is.
what? He's one of my favorites. Of course, the guy next to him didn't have quite as much luck this year, he did have luck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. He did have luck. And
Rob,
then,
can
yeah,
I give you kudos? And I don't want to bring up old
yes,
news, but
bring
I had
kudos.
so much love and respect for the way you handled that situation in San Antonio this year.
Thank you
That
very
had to be
much.
a hard hit, and you handled that with grace and class. And
I also handled it with grace and class.
oh, were you affected by that too?
No, he
No,
was
it was
not.
hilarious.
Yes, thank you. But it wasn't that bad going from eighth to ninth. The poor guy that had RGC. Now that guy,
Yes.
he got it. He got it bad. But yeah,
Yeah,
Twitch in
that
the
was
house. What's up, Trumpet Master?
that
Appreciate
was
you.
that was a tough call. But speaking of all these competitions and my love for the whole industry, I've started kind of a new endeavor. Well, actually, this kind of started for me before 2019. Again, when the world decided to stay home for a couple of years, talking with people at the American Royal, talking with people at Kansas City Barbecue Society, we talked about how many teams are starting to just, I'm going to say, age out. They've been competing. They've won everything they're going to win. They're kind of tired of being on the circuit, or they're focusing on restaurants now and other things. We were having trouble getting new blood, getting new teams to start. They were either intimidated, they didn't know how to get started, they were discouraged, thinking they were never going to win against these big guys. And so, my initial thoughts were Texas does this phenomenal job with their high school competitive teams. And then we have a gap. They go to college and we just kind of, they drop, either they have to go turn pro or they just kind of drop off. So I had this idea about, could we go out and start working with the colleges and get intramural teams? Could we go get the meat science departments, the culinary departments? Could we have them put teams together and compete against each other? And I was so gung-ho to do this. I was actually starting to travel. I was talking to some of the universities, some of the deans, and trying to get people on board. Everybody was supportive. And then the world shut down. And my whole idea just kind of died out. So I'm still on this mantra of how do we get new blood? How do we get new people, started and going, which is why I love starting this Made for KC barbecue. Getting some lesser known teams in Kansas City who actually had a chance to step up and do something. But the other thing that grew out of that was a great conversation with the Westlake Ace Hardware people about starting classes in their stores for people who want to learn competition barbecue. So if you are somebody who's been backyarding it, or maybe you've been doing some steak cook-offs, maybe you've been doing some other competitions, but you want to get involved, you want to start competing, we got pit masters that will come in. We're doing classes once a month where you're going to come and we're teaching you how to do competition ribs, competition brisket, competition pork butts, so that you can have that comfort level to put your own team together to maybe get out there and start cooking. And what I loved and adored was how readily the pit masters signed up, said, I'd love to help. What can I do? What can I teach? Westlake gave us space to come in. We just started in May with the first class. Richard Fragola did brisket. Last weekend, Megan Day did ribs. We've got Todd Johns coming up from Plowboys. We've got Chris Marks, Three Little Pigs. Now, these are all Kansas City pit masters because Westlake's is headquartered in Kansas City, and this is where I live.
Right.
But I think Ace is really watching to see
That's
what
good.
comes out of this, because they want to look at doing more and more pitmaster-centric promotions. They're looking at doing a Pitmaster of the Month throughout all the Ace stores and really playing up their brands and doing more cooking demos. So I think this is going to be a really fun way to get new blood in the stores, learning how to become. I mean, how did you learn, Rob? How did you get started and learn that you wanted to get out there and compete?
By getting my ass whooped every weekend going against these pros.
But your first time, what made you the first time? Now, see, I'm interviewing you. Sorry.
Yeah,
What made you
okay.
the first time say, I could do this?
It was watching a television show and saying, "Hey, this looks great. This looks like something I could do." And me and my buddy, not Case, but my buddy Tad, we went and did a contest, and it was just something that intrigued us, and it got us fired up, and that's what it was. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing that, because it does feel like we do need some new blood in the sport, and the cost of everything, fuel to meat, seem to be going up. But it's great that you guys are given an avenue so they can go and learn from pitmasters and give them that head start, because that's important. Because back in the day, there was none of that. You basically you had to learn by going and getting your head beat in for a couple of contests.
Well, so many pitmasters are natural born teachers and I should say coaches.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to sit down and hand you their Bible and say, this is how I do everything. But if they come to you and say, hey, I've got a question. I did this and this and this, and it didn't come out right. I don't know a pitmaster that wouldn't say, well, did you try this? Or your temp was too high, or you needed to inject, or you needed to, everybody's willing to help out if you come and ask the right questions. They just need to know who to go to. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do is make pitmasters more accessible to the up and coming teams so they can have, can hone their crafts.
That's great, Amy. I'm glad you're doing that. And yeah, hopefully that expands outside of KC because we'd like to see it. And Ace is all over the place. Ace is the place, right? It's all over the place. So
absolutely. Well, you all need to put up a couple new airports, and I'll come down there and try to do the same competitions and get the airport restaurants going too. How's that?
That would be cool. Now that is really cool. I'm glad, and I'm glad the lady that won, Brianna, is watching. She also just mentioned Pleasant Hill just won RGC and high school worlds at Round Rock this weekend, so that's really cool.
Woo-hoo!
Way to represent Missouri.
I look forward to trying her barbecue joint because I fly into Kansas City. I don't drive in like Rob does. So
talent flies. Flies.
Give us 9 months, Case. It'll be up and running.
He'll definitely be there next year for that. But Texas A&M does a barbecue camp and brisket camp. That's really cool. What's up, Jeff Dennison? Hello. Smoke Sheet. He saw lots of young families at the Made for KC event. The next generation. That's awesome. All right.
Well, kind of a hot topic. I'll put you on the spot here. So you talk about having all these meetings, these conversations, and bringing barbecue. Do you feel that it's easier to have those conversations because you do have such a centralized voice with such a large sanctioning body that dominates that, not only the country, but certainly that region? It's, I don't know, you may not be aware of how many acronyms that we currently have in the state of Texas when it comes to sanctioning bodies, but there's a bunch.
Yeah.
Is it easier when you do have such a centralized voice to grow? Do you feel like it's easier when you can meet with one group of leadership? Because I see, I saw the excitement from Compete Barbecue getting a backyard championship and a 180 score. And then turning around and last call, winning the main KCBS event. So you feel it's easier when you can have a centralized voice.
I don't want to disparage any other sanctioning bodies because I really don't. Being in my backyard, I do know KCBS better than anybody else. I do have to say they could not have been better partners to bring this to fruition. When they came to me, when OHM, the group that got the concession contract for the new airport, when they came to me and said, hey, do you think this is possible and will you help us? My first thought was, I know all the right people that we can get together to make this happen. And it was definitely a huge collaboration between KCBS, between ourselves, between Carl McBee, who we hired to be the actual event organizer to handle the team side of things. All of our sponsors that stepped up. I had pitmasters whose names did not get drawn that still showed up to help me do all the planning and get everything pulled together. I could call them and say, where am I going to find a trophy? Where am I going to find ribbons? Where am I going to, and, everybody was, I'll do that. I'll handle that one for you. And it came together because we had a family community that made it happen. So I'm not saying that couldn't happen in Texas or that couldn't happen in any other sanctioning body. I think it's all, maybe I had an advantage that I've been in the business so long and that I have so many connections. I just knew the right buttons to push to pull it together. So
cool.
Give me 6 months to live in Texas. I could do it.
Let's do it. Get you down here. Get you down here for sure. Well, Amy, this has been awesome. I hope you had a great time with us on the show.
Did, always.
Is there anybody that, first off, how can people find you, and then is there anybody that you want to thank? I know you've got all your people you kind of mentioned already, but is there anybody else that you wanted to
thank? My mom and dad are listening from Venice, Florida. So
all right.
Hi,
John and Sandy Jungk, who just had their, I got to tell you, 59th wedding anniversary last week.
Congratulations. That's
I
awesome.
wouldn't be here doing what I do if it hadn't been for them starting everything that they did. So my father is the entrepreneur extraordinaire that gave me my passion and love for helping entrepreneurs get going.
Awesome. That's great.
That's my biggest thank you. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
And how can they find you?
Okay, you guys can find us if you are looking from a B2B side. You're wanting someone to do co-packing for you. You have a restaurant, you need manufacturing, you need development work. Our website is oldworldspices.com. If you have a retail shop and you want to buy or look at the selection of rubs we have to offer for retail, wholesale.oldworldspices.com. You can set up an account. You can order directly online. And we do free shipping for $1,000 orders, which with the cost of freight right now is a hell of a good deal.
Yeah,
Okay?
man, you got to keep that up.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then if you are interested in the barbecue spot program and what we do, you can contact me directly. You can write Amy at oldworldspices.com. You can go to info at bbqspot.com. Sorry. Or you can just give us a call, 816-861-0400. And anybody, we have a great customer service team that can point you in the right direction and help get you started.
Well, this was awesome. You brought a lot of insight to that world that the people don't know of, and it was great to have you on. And we'd love to get you on down the line as well. So if you had fun, let's do it again. Jim Seeley said, "Great show." Darren Proctor, what's up, Darren?
Oh, hi, Darren.
Haven't seen Darren in a while. He said, "Great job." Peter, he's a great insight. Amy and Fred, does your dad need any Blanco in Florida?
Oh, yeah. Are you ready for this? My dad found the Blanco in Florida. Didn't realize we were making it. And he was like, he took it on a vacation to Colorado. They were going down. They rented a house for a month, and he had the Blanco like in the spice cabinet in Colorado. He brought all the way with him from Florida, and I'm like, Dad, we make that now.
That's your company.
This is the best stuff ever. So
it is good. It is. Are you going to Monterey? Willie T keeps asking.
Yes.
Are you going?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. I, matter of fact, I was texting. You guys are talking about in Monterey, Mexico. This is the S&P Grill Master 2022 HEB barbecue. And I was just texting or messaging last night with Alejandro about what hotel to stay in, because their website lists all these hotels. And I said, I got to stay with all my boys. I got to stay with the Pitmasters. So I need to know where you all are staying so I booked the right place.
Awesome.
But I'm definitely Monterey. I've only been down there one time for it before. It was a life-changing experience. I will not miss it.
Very cool. That's going to be fun. Maybe we'll get a review after that when you do that.
Why don't you just come down?
He did. They did invite me, so we'll see.
That whole
we'll
no
see.
travel ban thing why he can't fly into Kansas City, he also can't fly.
It's not true. Not true. Amy, thank you so much for coming on the show. You were awesome guest, as I knew you would be.
Oh, it's really fun, guys.
Great. We're happy to have you, and we'll catch you down the line. All right. And good luck with everything.
Okay.
All right. There she was, Miss Amy Jungk from the Barbecue Spot and Old World Spices. That was cool, man. That was really cool.
Way more fun to talk to than talking to you. I'm just saying.
I know, right? No, I knew she'd be great. I did. Back in the day, that Memphis in May, we had a podcast interview at the time. So, everybody's saying great show. Aaron Leslie's in the house. What's up, Aaron? Aaron. Bradley Coulter.
Too, Aaron.
Great job, Amy. What's that?
He said, what's up, Aaron? We're here too. Aaron,
yeah, no kidding, Aaron. Say hello to us as well. Yeah, so we've got, all right, a couple things to get off, and then we'll get off of here as well. But we got the party to talk about, Case. We've got some the shirts, of course. We got to talk about those things, and we got the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap, along with the Briscoe Ranch cook-off at the Crossroads upcoming events segment. Before we do any of that, guys, I'm going to do one more sponsor spot. Here we go. Let's get it going. Shout out to our great sponsors, Rec Tech, Cosmos Q Products, Texas Pepper Jelly, Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, LC Barbecue, Rick's RV Rental and Repair, Eureka Heights Brew Company, Chicken Fried Barbecue Grinds, Jay Harding and Company, Texas Oil Dust, Bull Printing, Wraps and Graphics, and the Barbecue Store in Hempstead. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Yes, we're still getting, let me pull this back down. We're still getting everybody saying, great job, guys. And Amy, yeah, she was awesome. Great interview. What's up, Fredo? Willie T, you should come down to Monterey, Rob. I can put you on the bill if you want. Hello. All right. Maybe.
I never get invited to shit. So.
Case, come on. Come on, Case. You come too. But talent flies. Maybe I'll have to fly in. I'm not driving down there. That's for dang sure. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about some winners that we've had recently. It's time for the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics Wrap-Up Recap. Some of those guys are watching right now. In the Champions Barbecue Alliance, we had the 5th Annual Harlingen Police Department Cook-Off. Grand champion was Reyes Sepulveda. I think I'm saying that right. Texas Sweet Heat, the RGC was Andy Reyes from Fat Cat Barbecue. And the 4th Annual Great Wagyu Roundup Grand Champion. He's in the comments right there. James, send me a promo video, and I'll be able to play it right now. The Grand Champion was James Dodson from Limp Brisket. Cool name. I love that name. And then the RGC was Eric Arnold from Big E Barbecue. And 2 weeks ago, because we missed last week, Llano Volunteer Fire Department Grand Champion Josh Hale, Sure Shot Barbecue. He's also in the comments today. And my man, Paul Whitaker from Scooters Barbecue. And over in the IBCA, the 6th Annual Austin Matura Scholarship Contest Grand Champion Sean Moore, Chasing More Smoke. RGC was Darren Thurman from Lucky 7 Barbecue. Q for the Blue Grand Champion Corbin Stone, Smoking Donkeys. I also love that name as well. The RGC was Preston Inscore from Rafter 1 Ranch Cookers. Smoking on the Plaza. This was the one... we got misspelled. This was the one in Lovington, New Mexico. It was an automatic draw for the Jack. The RGC was Chuck Long from Texas Rebel Smokehouse. In the Grand Champion, this is amazing. This is great. She doesn't cook very often. It's Manuel Moreno's wife, Summer Moreno from Kickin' Ashes. She won the event, so she gets an automatic draw to the Jack. So she's going to the Jack. Congratulations, Summer. That was pretty awesome to see and watch it unfold. I was watching live whenever that happened, so I was very excited when I was home by myself. Columbus Annual June Cook-Off. This is the one that Case talked about where he was at. The Grand Champion. Let's get excited here.
Get excited. Come
Caleb
on.
Warden from Kickin' Cajun Smokehouse. Brian Fox had a funny comment. I should have asked Amy. He's like, I'm going to send you Caleb's chicken rub because we need to know what's in it. And then the RGC was Carlos Garza, guy. He's on your team, Team Dairy Cone.
OG Team Dairy Cone.
OG hasn't missed. RGC, Carlos Garza, still smoking. I think he only does that. He's on your schedule. I think he only does one a year now.
My schedule, and yeah, it was a big deal when we beat Carlos in fajitas. Carlos put together just a fantastic cook. I think he had a 3rd place fajitas, 7th chicken, 3rd brisket, 2nd ribs. I mean, something just amazing. He's got a 1.5-year-old. He brought his whole family out there, and so it's always good to see Carlos. And more importantly, he gave us a fighting chance at a Team Dairy Cone Grand Champion, but Mr. Caleb Warden spoiled that for us. But true to my words, I painfully went into town and put Caleb Warden on the reader board at the Dairy Cone. So once again, congratulations, Caleb.
Congrats, Caleb. We want you on the show, Caleb. Pick a Wednesday because it looks like, by all accounts, he's going to be the IBCA points champion for this year. So congratulations on your awesome season. I think that was his 12th Grand Championship this year. That's pretty awesome. So
he gets a couple more. Yeah, it took 12. It took 12 Grand Champions.
Yeah,
and I finally called
you need
Rob.
13. You need 13 to get on the show, Caleb. Just saying, bro. So
I called Rob on the way home, and I said, I guess we can invite him on the show.
I told you I wanted him on. I want you on the show, Caleb. All right, here we go. And over in the see, I think Amy's still down there watching, so she is getting the acronyms here right now. LSBS, Lone Star Barbecue Society, Smoke on the Hill Grand Champion, Scotty Bryce from East Texas Smokers, and the Grand Champion, or RGC, excuse me, was Clint Collier. Nothing in the Outlaw Barbecue Association. So that was the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics wrap-up recap. Say a few words about the bull printing, man. That's awesome. By the way, my trailer wrap is 10 years old. Still looks amazing. Still looks amazing.
Mine is took it to the car wash, rinsed it off. It's amazing. Mine is going on 7 years now. The guys down, Cheeto and the gang only use 3M wrap. It's by far the best you're going to get. It's going to last. If you're going to spend that money, you're going to promote your brand on some type of large print. Don't waste your money with amateurs. Go make sure you do it with the pros, and that's the guys at Bull Printing.
There you go. And I saw some new people watching the show tonight. So if you're new to our show, we do this every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, right here on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We are on all platforms. We also put this on podcast later. So if you're that guy that wants to travel and listen, or lady, if you want to just travel and listen to the show, you can do that as well. Just search up So Smoking Gooder Show. We will pop up on all of your podcast platforms. But yeah, so if you're new to the show, thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. And again, come back next week, next Wednesday. We'll be doing a live spot from Paradigm Brewery. But for now, it's steak night. Yes, we're going to do steak and talk some barbecue. That's awesome. All right. And then we have the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. Going to be December 9th and 10th, 2022 in Uvalde, Texas. I did reach out to Wade. Looks like we are still on for that weekend in Uvalde. Again, prayers for the city of Uvalde and everybody that's going through what they are going through right now. We have another slide that we can bring up here in a minute to where you can help them out as well. All right, but the upcoming event segment sponsored by the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. We will be there December 9th and 10th, 2022 in Uvalde. Champions Barbecue Alliance, we have the Lake Morval Barbecue Contest in Carthage, Texas. That is held by Anna Bryce. The Bryces, they run that one. So I know they have a KCBS Johnny Trigg shootout on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they have the Lake Merval Barbecue Contest, Champions Barbecue Alliance. So that's pretty cool. In Elsa, Texas, the Red, White, and Blue Festival. It's coming up this weekend. And in Seguin, this is part of the Texas Six-Pack for the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. It's the SS American Memorial Contest. That's going to be in Seguin, Texas this weekend. Over in the IBCA, we got the Big Dog Barbecue Contest in Spur, Texas. How you say that, Case? Chaya Barbecue Contest in Beeville. Nope. And Smoking the Pines in Livingston. And over in the Outlaw Barbecue Association, Thomas Fowler American Legion in Wichita Falls and Lone Star. We got the TNT Cook-Off in Jacksboro, Texas. And we have the Summerfest contest in Bandera. Love me some Bandera, Texas. I wonder if Phil's going to be there. It's in his backyard.
I can tell you this, no matter where you're cooking in Texas this weekend, bring in air conditioning. Good Lord, it was hot last weekend.
This weekend, it's supposed to be 105. In Houston, the average is 93. This is ridiculous. Somebody turned down the heat. That is for sure. We mentioned that, guys. You can still donate to the Robb Memorial Fund through the First State Bank of Uvalde. An account has been opened. There's the information. Again, if you wanted to reach out, you can screenshot that and do that. There's a phone number as well. But yeah, Zelle donations, you can go to robschoolmemorialfund@gmail.com. So that's how you can help the people out in Uvalde as well. Okay. Tomorrow, the Champions Barbecue Alliance will be unveiling something brand new. So you can tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock on the Champions Barbecue Alliance Facebook page. We're rolling out something new. It's going to be cool. Something at
bologna, 5 meats.
At your fingertips. What'd you say?
No. You're going to turn in bologna now? 5 meats?
No bologna will be turned in.
Okay, ham.
In this organization. It is it is a hybrid. 3 meats, 4 meats. 3 meats matter, Case. That's what you say all the time, right?
Yes.
And again, next week we'll be going live from the Barbecue and Brews. We got steak night music. We're going to be at Paradigm Brewery. Talk about Paradigm. What is this? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Brewing, $249 and $99 in Tomball. The brewmaster from Carbach Brewing, no longer with Carbach, as he has started his own brewery right there in Tomball. It's a beautiful facility, guys. It's a $5 million brewery. Open up right there in Tomball. It is steak night. we are actually kicking off their events as they move into July 4th. They have a big barbecue celebration as they move into all the July 4th festivities. So if you can't come see us next Wednesday in Tomball, and you're not cooking or you're just hanging out in the Tomball area, throughout the July 4th weekend, they're going to be throwing a hell of a party at Paradigm Brewing. Really good beer. But we kick it off with the live show next Wednesday, so come see us, enjoy steak night, enjoy cold beer, and hopefully we find Mr. Jason Jurin and put a real OG So Smoking Gooder show back together. That's worth the price of admission, which is free. So you might as well come see us.
That would be awesome. We get Jaybird out there. That man is going through shingles, man. Shingles. I don't think it's contagious. So bring him on. Come on, Jason. We would love to see you. And hopefully he's through that because he's been dealing with it for a little while. So hopefully Jaybird is on the mend and we can get him out there in Tomball. We'll be in his backyard. He might as well come out. But if he can't make that, or if none of you can make that, here is where I want you to be. You've had plenty of notice, people. July 14th is our 5-year anniversary party. Look at that card, man. Isn't that cute? That is great. We're turning 5, Case. We are turning 5. I love the dinosaur in the cake over there. Yes, that's going to be Thursday, July 14th at the Rose Hill Beer Garden here in Cypress, Texas. A lot of you guys are coming in for the Hempstead Watermelon Festival. That is a short 20-minute drive out 290 from where we'll be. So that contest begins on Friday. So you can come out to the party, come out a day early, come celebrate our 5-year anniversary. We're going to have Joey Machado with Texas Original Charcoal. He'll be out there cooking up some good food. Eddie Jackson from Food Network fame will also be out there cooking. Of course, Case and I will be out there. I know that Roddy Trevino is making it out. So there's a lot of people that are coming out. Jared McCrory, whoever can make that Hempstead Watermelon Festival. Come out a day early. Come celebrate our 5-year anniversary. We would love to have you out there. And this is the final week, guys, to get in on the shirts. Come support the show. Be a good Gooder Gang member and support the show and get these fine shirts that we'll have out there. And so this is the final work to get your pre-order in, and these will be ready for that party. That's why I got to get this in, turn it over to the printer. We'll get these done, and we will get that going. So that's what's going on in the So Smoking Gooder show world. Again, if this is your first time to check us out, we appreciate you doing that. Find us every Wednesday right here on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch platforms. Anything else, Case? Am I forgetting anything?
No. Big thank you to all the guys and the Team Derrico guys made it out to Columbus. Everybody who supported the SCA event out in Katy for patient housing. Lots of good stuff. IBCA Point State's coming to an end. Congratulations again, Caleb. I think Caleb told me at cook-off he got it locked down, so congratulations, Caleb. And everybody's cooking, man. I'm serious. It's warm out there. Stay hydrated, not just beer, and have some fun.
I will be doing a 3 Meats Matter event. That's going to be an IBCA event in September. Hopefully it is below 100 degrees by September, and it will be. But yes, I'm going to be out at the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. You know how important this event is to you and I. We've been doing it. That's what I said, to you and I. We will be there. All right. That will be the weekend after Labor Day, so we have plenty of time to talk.
Labor Day will be in Hutto, so if you missed out on the one cook I normally do a year, you get a bonus opportunity this year for the second one.
This will be the 9th and 10th of September is when the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. If you guys do not remember, I've done this event probably 5 or 6 years and have never gotten a call. This is my Mount Russian. This is my El Guapo. You know, El Guapo is just a big scary man from Mexico. That's a what's that movie? Three Amigos comment. Yes, the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic is my El Guapo, and I'm gonna go and try and get a walk. Finally, we'll see what happens. It's always a big contest. It's always a great run event. Jen Lee's in the comments. She is the promoter behind that. So I am excited to get back and doing that event. It's going to be at the Texas Renaissance Festival Fairgrounds, so plenty of room if you guys want to get out there. Again, that is going to be the 9th and 10th of September. So we'll be talking about that here in the next 3 months leading up to it. But for all you guys cooking this weekend, stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be the hottest weekend of the year so far. All right. So far. Yeah, so far. Shout out to Amy Jungk again with the barbecue spot and Old World Spices. That was awesome. Loved having her on. We'll get her back on for sure. You guys seem to respond well to that. That was great. The insights she provided on that whole the backside we don't get to see on how a rub becomes a rub is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Case, anything else want to add before we get you going?
No, man, absolutely. And for so many cooks that came up, it was good to get out on. It was actually really enjoyed it to get out and cook and see so many faces, especially the ones that chose to make the trip out to Columbus. I know the guys really appreciated it. It was really good to see. There were a few people traveled in, Josh Kovar and some guys that I don't see necessarily in the Houston area. So it was nice that people traveled in. It was good to catch up with a bunch of y'all last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, you asked where I'm cooking. If I do, it's going to be in Seguin, but I'm not sure if I'm up to it just yet to get out there. Just getting off of an illness, so I don't want to press my luck and go sweat out in 105. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be competing this weekend. So if I am able to do it, it will be Seguin. So, all right, that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Again, thanks to Amy for coming on the show. Case, thanks always for being my co-host, and I did not leave me Han solo again. We'll be at Paradigm Brewery next weekend, and the invite is out. Shout out to Caleb. Come on, you're going to win the IBCA points chase. We'd love to get you on the show. So, all right, that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Case, bring us home, brother.
Hope to see a bunch of y'all in Tomball at Paradigm Brewing for state night. But if you can't, join us right here wherever you're watching, even that one guy on Twitch. Hey, good night, Barbecue Nation. You too, California.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Y'all have a good week, and we will see you next weekend. We are out.